Hey, Mr. Barbarian.
Yes?
Yeah, we just got this feedback from echohack that says that you can equip 3 more legendary weapons than every other class, and that those legendary powers affect your character, as well as a few other concerns about your class. Did you see that as a potential balance problem?
No.
Oh, well, I guess there's absolutely no problems here. Hey, we'll see you in beta. Barbarian's arsenal system allows them to equip 4 total weapons, 3 more than any other class in the game. Well, Rogue also gets 1 more weapon, so it suffers a bit from the same problem. The problem here isn't that Barbarian can equip 4 weapons, but rather they benefit from all of the secondary effects, legendary aspects, and any gems slotted into those weapons, regardless of which weapon they are actively using as part of the arsenal system. And no, this isn't balanced by class specialization, because Barbarians also get the expertise system, which gives them 2 more multipliers, which unlock based on leveling up your weapons. This system really wasn't available in the beta because you had to go to a zone that was unavailable in order to unlock it. To be clear, this breaks the game. There is no RPG in the universe where having a character who has more item slots than another character is balanced at all. Fundamentally, whether you're playing Final Fantasy XIV, Path of Exile, or Diablo 4, the number of item slots that you have on your character translates into more character power. Period. Diablo 4's legendary aspect system is centered around different item slots giving different types of bonuses. For example, the amulet slot and the rings typically give resource-oriented aspects. Chest and legs are defensive, feet are movement-oriented, and hands and weapons are damage-oriented. The most powerful of these are, hands down, did you see what I did there? The hand and weapon slots, because damage is the ultimate limiter in terms of what anyone can do in the game. If I'm equipping 3 more 50% multiplicative damage modifiers than you, it doesn't matter what build you play or what game mechanics that you use, you are going to feel left behind. The worst part about this is that this can have a gravity-like design effect for the entire game and for every class, and results in design inflation over time. We saw this in the life cycle of Diablo 3, where cheat death skills were not very common at first, but due to the absolute insane benefits that they offer, were eventually implemented for every class in the game. This is ultimately a design limitation on the entire game, because now every player is more or less required to play a certain way, and playing outside of those bounds is necessarily a very dangerous trade-off. I've already seen some suggestions from the community to solve this problem by using design inflation. What if instead everyone had an offhand slot like the Rogue? Wouldn't that bring every class upwards in balance? Then maybe it's not so bad that the Barbarian has more weapons. Frankly, in my opinion, this is nonsense. The game needs to be designed around a limited number of slots. Diablo 4 has a base of 10 slots for every class, which, by the way, we should note is exactly the same number of slots available in Path of Exile. I think there's something special there. 10 slots feels about right for making really complex and diverse build metas, and adding more or less seems to constrain the design overall either way. You also can't solve this problem by nerfing other parts of the Barbarian class, like the skill tree or the Paragon boards. These are entirely separate systems, which can't be balanced against itemization itself. The main issue here is that the weapon slots are more flexible to any game changes that happen than the skill trees are. If Blizzard adds a new legendary aspect to the game, for example, or they nerf an existing one, it's not hard to simply swap the legendary aspect to a different one and swap your build around accordingly. You as a player have far more flexibility and choice on itemization changes than the necessarily limited decisions that you have on the skill tree. To be clear, this is a good design, and I'm a big fan about how aspects in the skill trees are designed in this game. But what you can't do is try to nerf a skill tree in service of hoping that the itemization system will somehow balance it out. Instead of these style fixes, I would suggest something very simple. that barbarians designate a main weapon with one of three choices. Either they get one of the two-handers that they can currently equip, or they choose the dual-wielding one-handers. Then, this designated main weapon would be the only weapon where they could benefit from the powers of that weapon. And the other two weapons would be grayed out in the inventory screen to indicate that these weapons' powers and aspects are unavailable to the player. I think this designation would not only be a great way to balance the current system, but would also give players a better sense of identity around their barbarian. It would be awesome to feel like you really are a two-handed mace barbarian or dual-wielding swords barbarian, and you have real in-game choice related to your real stats and game performance that indicate that. Perhaps there also could be other benefits that Blizzard can implement. For example, you might gain more experience with your main designated weapon faster than you otherwise would have with your other equipped weapons for the expertise system. I want to keep this one short, so thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, then you can find the subscribe button right next to the like button. I also want to thank fellow MAXROLL creators MacroBioBoy and DreadScythe for the deep, in-depth discussion we had around this topic. If you want to see their channels, you can find them down below. See you in the next one. Peace.